So in today's video, we will be discussing the Hawker Hunter Retrograde from AVI-8. AVI-8 is an amazing watch company that makes some of the most intriguing aviation-enthused watches. This one right here is giving a tribute to the 1950s Royal Air Force Hawker Hunter. This jet was used throughout World War II and has carved its place in aviation history. So if you'd like to know more, you should just stick with us. I'll tell you all about it. This video is intended for all ages. So when you first receive your watch, this is what you'll receive. This amazing little storage box. I love the fact that they put it in something like this. Not all watches, some of them are just in a little cardboard, some of them are nothing more than that. But this is what you're going to receive. Comes in another case, your instruction manual, and then a fantastic watch. This is the AVI-8 Hawker Hunter Retrograde. First off, you're going to notice that it seems as if they took a instrument panel from the Hawker Harrier and made it wrist size. Very, very nice. I like this watch. I like the Bell Ross style watches like this, and this one seems to be exceptionally just like that. Wonderful watch. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's one of those things that, even though it has a very odd shape, being that the case size is a 12-sided case instead of the normal cases you're used to seeing, which just changes a little bit, but the way they smoothed off these edges, it makes it where this watch carries very small, meaning it doesn't seem really big on your wrist. As I'll show you here. The watch itself pays tribute to the World War II era aircraft, the Hawker Hunter, used by the Royal Air Force. Now this is the AV-405205 in Blue Diamond. Absolutely beautiful. This is a well-balanced watch with touches that have been inspired by the actual jet. Now it is very attractive. I think it's a very stylish looking watch. I'm trying to hold it just right so you can really see the face of the dial. Now the face of the dial is a key point in this because it's got this real nice finish. It's kind of textured, but it makes it where everything else pops. I mean, it's just cool. The jet was primarily used throughout World War II in the 1950s by the Royal Air Force. Now this watch does come with a 2-year international warranty, and the watch itself does come in a wide variety of color options, so you can check those out. I'll put links down below to AVI-8 and to watches.com where I picked mine up. So let's get started on the watch itself. Now the watch itself, as you see, is from lug to lug, meaning from here to here, is 54.5 millimeters, is 12 millimeters thick, and has a case size of 45 millimeters. The bandwidth is 22 millimeters across this and has a hand-stitched leather strap. Very nicely done. The case itself, we'll talk about the case, mixes up some amazing details, but it starts off, like I said, it has a 12-sided design, and it makes it appear very much smaller on your wrist than it looks. And when you look at a watch that's 54 centimeters in diameter from here to here, that's pretty big. But when you put it on your wrist, it doesn't seem that way. This case right here is polished stainless steel and has these amazing edges, beveled and polished, and just, it makes it look very sleek. The thickness of this watch, which is one thing that's really important, at 12 millimeters, which seems big, but this watch, the way these cases are done and the way everything's done, the glass is all the way up here to the ridge, it allows that depth in the watch face, which makes it where you can really appreciate all the details, the gauges that are inside that run the triple option. This is a has a 3 gauge for a triple chronograph, and it's just been wonderful. I really like this watch. This watch does have the AVI-8 logo over here and carries the date at the 4 o'clock mark, between the 4 and 5 o'clock, instead of the normal 3 o'clock. But where it really shines is with everything else. Let's go. All right, so first off, we're going to talk about the watch. The watch itself is a tribute to the Hawker Hunter, as I stated, but we're going to talk about the case. Now, I'm going to try and keep my hands away from this watch just so you can really appreciate it. I'll show you some close-ups when I need to, but I'm going to try and just talk you through this because it's a wonderful watch, and I don't want to put my big, grubby, dirty hands all over it. So the case is a 12-sided design, which when all the cuts and all the polish and all the beveled edges that they've done around this, it makes this watch fit on your arm a lot smaller than you would expect with a 54 millimeter lug-to-lug size. Just impressive. The watch itself is a 12 millimeter thickness, which is surprising because as you see here, and as I get closer to the gauges and the face of the watch, you will notice that between the dial and the glass, it looks like there's a huge gap in space. I mean, it just looks deeper than it even is, because at 12 millimeters, it can't be too far. Now, it does have an amazing push-to-pull crown located at the 3 o'clock mark. It has the AVI-8 logo stamped into it, as I'll show you here. And then it has these two amazing push piston style pushers. Now the pushers, one actuates the chronograph, which is the general purpose, and the second will allow you to reset the chronograph when you stop it. The chronograph is running at that 6 o'clock mark and is currently running. The clock that's located at between the 9 and 11 is the minute hand, meaning every time it goes around clocking the second hand, it'll go one more click, and it'll work its way all the way up to a 10-minute, and then it'll count, it'll smooth back and start over. The clock the subdial that's located at the 3 o'clock mark is your 24-hour timeline. By that meaning, currently it is 4 o'clock p.m., and that means it is 1600. So that is why the 24-hour clock is pointed at the 16, meaning it is 4 p.m. in case you are in a situation where you might not see the light of day. Very cool. It does have the AVI-8 logo located on the left-hand side near the 8 o'clock mark, and it's just a wonderful watch. The face of the watch on the dial is done in this monochrome color scheme where it's got this gloss black on the outside and a textured black on the inside with these beautiful, brilliant blue letters and hour marks. The hands are done the same way, and that really helps them pop. Now, the watch itself weighs 100 grams, which may seem heavy, but it doesn't feel that way. It fits really, really well on your wrist, feels very well balanced, and whether you're an outdoorsman or you're looking for a watch for daily wear, this watch is exceptional. Let's talk about the glass. Now, the glass is a very nice beveled glass, and the glass is flush, which allows a really cool depth to that watch, like I was stating earlier. You really see how deep the inside edge of that watch is and how far it is there. It's just very, very cool. You get to really see the details, the rivets on those gauges, and just all that detail that they've done. It's just very nicely done. Let's see if I can get a little closer without screwing it all up. Very nice. Now I'm going to flip it over and show you the back. All right, so as you see here, the back is stainless steel and does list that it is water resistant to 50 meters, and it does have a Japanese quartz movement. It does have the AVI-8 logo embossed, like engraved in the back, and it's just a very stylish look. Now, I will say, being this is a twist-off style watch, I wouldn't advise trying to replace the battery in this yourself. I recommend finding a jeweler that you trust and taking it to them. The dial itself is my favorite part of this watch. The dial is finished in this wonderful monochrome color scheme, and it's two-tone. It's got the gloss black ring around the outside, and it's got the textured black finish on the inside. Then it has the gauge pods around the subdials, and it just really adds a layer of contrast. The face of the dial and the subdials seem crowded when you first get this watch. It'll seem almost, you're like, wow, there's a lot going on. But by doing so, by putting the dials where they did, they eliminated every number on the one side other than the 0, the 1, 2, 4, and 6. And that is all. The rest of them just have the hour marks, and that just allows for the watch not to seem so crowded. I like that. I like them a whole lot. The rivets, I love the detail. If you look at the gauges, you can see the rivets, and you can see this, what will look like little screws, but they're rivets, and they're holding those sub-dial covers on, which makes them look like real gauges out of the cockpit for the Hunter Harrier. Just so cool. I mean, the details are what are appealing. So next you're going to look at the date. The date is located, I will move this, hold on. I had to readjust the watch so you could see it better. I had to adjust the time. So it did not go through time that much. I just had to adjust the clock so you could see the date. The date is in a matte black finish inside with white numbers, which just make it pop because it's the only white part inside this watch at all, which is just a very appealing look. The chronograph itself and the watch hands are outlined, which makes the visibility of the sub-dials very easy to see. And they actually are designed around the altimeter gauge of the Hawker Hunter. Very classic, very cool look. I mean, just everything about it is cool. I like this. I think they did such a good job. And this is probably why I'm doing another watch review. Now, next we're going to talk about the strap. The strap itself is very nicely done. As you see, very thick, very well done, very supple and very comfortable leather. It has been, as it's broken in, like I said, I've had mine for a month or so, and I do wear it often, but it breaks in very easily. As you see, the watch itself, the band, the strap, is available in a bracelet edition, and a couple of different versions of it are in stainless steel. Very nice. The leather, the buckle has a flat back black pin and a buckle with the AVI-8 stamped in it. Hand stitched with the same color accent as the watch. It just adds a very stylish look that's surprising. Now, I would love to say I wear this as a daily watch, but I don't. I work on cars, so this isn't really practical for my line of work. But I find myself wearing this watch almost immediately after I get out of my shower when I get home from work, and I wear it a lot on weekends. Other options include, like I said, a stainless steel bracelet and a rubber strap for a more tactical look, if you'd like. So as I close out, I will say thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate your help. We appreciate you stopping by and watching our video. This watch itself, I think, is a very surprise. It was a big surprise to me. I love the way it looked, but it has grown so much of a favorite for me that I'm shocked. You can see the influence of the cockpit of the Hawker Hunter in every aspect of this watch. I mean, it's just cool. The many color options, from the stainless steel camo to the blacked out stealth, are awesome. It just allows you to pick one that's more your style out of all of them. It's cool. This is a very classic timepiece, and I love the fact that it's a tribute to a World War II era aircraft. The watch itself is attractive and has been a great conversation starter for me in the short period of time I've owned it. It has become a very staple of my everyday carry gear. Bottom line, it's a remarkable timepiece. I think it combines functionality and style with a rugged, manly, but yet elegant manner. I think the watch combines aviation heritage, like for the Hunter Harrier for the Royal Air Force. I think it makes it cool, with quality watchmaking. So even if you're not a history buff or an aviation enthusiast, you should definitely check this watch out, and if you can, add one to your collection. The Japanese quartz movement is precise and allows for accurate timekeeping, especially when you pair it with something like a dynamic chronograph that allows you to measure time to the precise second. Very cool. I will put links to AVI-8, their actual website, and I'll put them to where I found mine at watches.com. But I'm sure if you Google it, you'll find some in multiple locations, other places that got them for sale, and just check it out. We thank you guys so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it the old thumbs up. If you're new to our channel and not part of our community, we'd love to have you join us. There will be many, many more watches coming in the near future, and we say thank you to each and every one of you. We pray for you and your family, and we hope you have a wonderful week. We say God bless. We'll see you guys next week.